Gifted, back on another Gifted music video, and in this video, I'm here with my guys.
Stef Being, you know the vibes.
Alright, y'all already know how we start this shit, so give us a touch on like where you from and shit.
From the East, Linden Projects. That's where I'm really like born and raised from. That's where I'm really from.
And how was it coming up in the East and shit?
Coming up, it was regular though. It was little kids running around the park, all types of, feel me? Niggas ain't all that block, playing the block smoking. That shit ain't comes like probably for me like 11, 12. Gangsta.
But like when I got in tune with you, I see that you put like the Wolves and the Ville has. So what's the impact with the Ville and shit with you and shit?
Oh,
I see you make music with a lot of Ville niggas and shit like that. So
you got my older brother. It's like I'm from. You could say I'm from the Ville too, because when I was living in Linden, I was in the Ville more than probably I was in Linden. It was like big old both. Like that's why you feel me. That's why you probably see because my brother definitely So that's how it goes and how that goes.
So you talking about family and shit like that. So like what was your household structure growing up? Like brothers, sisters? You had your mom and your pops in your life?
Nah, no pops. I know my pops. My pops, he just not around. He just not around.
And shit. And they was said that your brother is actually the big artist in here, Kooda B. Is that shit true?
That's a fact. Blood brother.
Nah, that shit. So who's the oldest and shit?
Him.
So like, what's one funny memory or some shit that you gonna say that you remember? If you had one memory that would pop up in your head the most of all my son Kooda.
Nah, some funny shit. It was some funny shit. My son was Shamak one night. Gangsta. My son was booted one night. No cap. My son came in the crib. My son was talking for bad long. I'm like, nah, you booted. No cap. Like, nah, you booted right now. Gangsta. And that was when I was living in Linden too.
Nah, that's a fact. And especially seeing from him, he been in the drill game for a long ass time from the beginning and shit. So like, what's some things that you pick up and you learn from him and shit like that? Seeing him do what he do.
It's just like, you know how you go to the stool with like somebody like him? You go to the stool with somebody, you just seeing how they work. Like how they, feel me, like how they knock shit down. After I started doing that, I went to the studio like 1 time, 2 times, meet the woo and all that. I went back to the studio, started tapping like the shit easy. Shit take like 2 seconds.
What's the biggest advice or wisdom that you take away from him and shit like that? Or any pointers that he pointed you out and shit like that?
My son always tell me, be yourself. You always tell me, be yourself. That's it. Be yourself.
That's real shit. So like, bring us a little more into like your childhood and shit like that. Was it normal or some shit? You had a smooth childhood, or when did like the streets and everything come into it? Would you say that you had a regular childhood?
Yeah, I definitely had a regular childhood. It wasn't too, I had everything I wanted. My mom's buying this regular, feel me? I ain't gonna lie, shit started again. It really got wicked at like 2014 and shit. November 24, that's when it really got wicked. November 21st, 2014, after my cousin died. That's when shit really changed for me.
Was that the first loss you ever experienced at that time?
And that was a big loss. That was right, my son died right where I lived at, so that shit.
Yeah, he fucked up. Yeah, and shit like that. Nah, that's a lot to experience at your age and shit like that. So like, at what age did the streets and shit come into play for you and shit? Would you say?
14, 13. Nah, I was out like, I ain't gonna lie, I was out like 11, 12 though. I was that serious. I was bad as shit, 11, 12.
Nah, in the East and in the Ville at the same time?
More the Ville is both though. I ain't gonna lie, it's both. I can't even say was both.
So what's the difference in comparisons to the East of the Ville? Do you feel like one is more crazier than the other?
I ain't gonna lie, the East nothing like the Ville. But like, I ain't gonna lie.
I'm from the East. That's the funny shit.
Look, the East on timing, they wasn't too, but the Ville is more lit. It's there. You go to the Ville, it's there. Like everything is there.
Nah, like I said in a couple other interviews with like Brownsville artists and shit. Like, and recently I was there with my son King Matt, and I like seen it. Like, yo, like the Ville, the neighborhoods are just so motherfucking close.
Fact.
Every block is a projects type shit. Though. I feel like that's the biggest difference from that and the East and shit like that.
It's beef right across the street.
Nah, that's a fact.
Hey, so you walk down a block, you probably went to somebody. It's smoke right now. No cat.
Nah, that's a fact. And as far as like with the times being in shit, like with the 2020 area, a lot of niggas is getting left. In my knowledge, this is like one of the craziest times of like beef and everything.
This 2020 like, history. This shit is history. This is gonna go down 10 years, 20 years from now. This is gonna be they gonna talk about this in school. This is gonna be part of history class.
Nah, that's a fact. No Surviving 2020 is a fucking
all types of riots and all that. This shit ain't go down since
that's a fact. And as far as like with the streets and shit, is this the craziest times that you remember it, or was it another time, because another era, crazy era was the 2010 era. I remember that era and shit like that.
I was young, so I wasn't really worrying about. That was around the blackout time, blackouts and shit. I was having fun back in the building at football. But then, nah. 2020?
Nah, it's
2020 the craziest shit. I ain't never experienced no shit like this.
Nah, that's a fact. And as far as with like the street life and shit like that, what would you say would be your biggest trials and tribulations? Like the hardest couple things that you had to experience?
Nah, I was just seeing death a lot. And I was just kept getting booked and shit like that, locked up, young. You know, judge like, it's the last time. That nigga ain't seen me since. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. Facts.
And in your stint of being locked up and shit, was it as crazy like how artists painted out to be? Or did you go through a smooth bit?
Nah, I ain't do no day. I ain't do 2 days. None of that. None of that. I just straight went to the precinct like 3 times. It was like 3 back to back though. It was like 3 times young too though. Mom's, feel me? She there before me.
Nah, that's a fact.
I'm like, nah, I gotta stop this shit.
Alright, and as far as like the drill scene and shit like that, it comes a lot with being a Brooklyn drill artist and shit like that. What's the most annoying thing that you have to experience being a Brooklyn drill artist? Would you say?
So when I'm writing a beat, when I'm writing and shit, listening to a beat, I'm the type of nigga like I say some shit, I be like, damn, that's raw. I ain't gonna lie, always no cap, like that's raw, or I gotta come better.
No,
it's never just that. You always gotta come 2 times different.
No, that's a fact. Would you say you have like your main support system of people that you share your music with and shit?
Facts.
To get your opinion on it?
Yeah, I was.
And explain the y'all connection and shit like that. Like you
sandbox to the grades. My brother's like young. Sandbox 5, 6, 7, go on and on.
That's a fact. And as far as like being a Brooklyn drill artist and shit, how does like the gangs and all of the street politics affect you as an artist in the music and shit like that?
That shit don't affect me. I don't even pay attention to that.
Nah, that's real shit.
No cap, I don't pay attention to none of that because I really don't go on real life.
Nah, that's respectable and shit like that. And as far as like with the
my son Young Boy said, I move by results, not by friends or things that's televised.
Nah,
that's a quote.
Nah, I seen that for sure. I seen that. Cause even with you made a song with a nigga in the East and shit like Kooda B Being.
That's my name. You see my name? That's Kooda B Stef GB. That's another childhood.
And a lot that could be questionable and shit like that, cause the neighborhoods don't rock each other. But I respect you guys for doing that. I feel like y'all pushing it to a point where it's like, if I fuck with you, we could make that work. I think a lot of more artists gotta get on that timing or some shit. So that's definitely a big move and shit like that. So also with
put that out there though, Tuka, that's my guy. Like that's really just like y'all that's really my sandbox. So that's it about that. If you really know me, you know. So I don't be having to explain. A lot of people don't be asking me shit like that, like different type, because they know shit deeper than music.
And something that we're facing a lot with the drill culture that we're going through right now is artists rapidly passing and shit like that. First, I want to ask you what's your take on artists passing left and right, and how does that affect you? And then second, which artist death had the biggest impact on you?
Pop. My son Pop.
Nah, definitely.
I was laying down. My mom, 9 in the morning. Kooda was locked up. So, feel me? Knox. Pop Smoke. I started going crazy. I ain't even like, you feel me? I ain't never me in person, face to face. My brother did, so that shit was crazy. That shit hit so hard. I said, where my mother? I heard about that. I banged the wall. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, shit.
This shit can't be true.
Nah, that's a fact. That's most definitely a fact. It's a Pop, and then the biggest shocker to me in 2020 was my son Kobe. Kobe just even though his rapping is off scene.
Facts. Kobe, that shit was mind blowing. Like hell no,
funny shit.
That ain't happening.
Then when I heard the Kobe death, I just thought like, what the fuck is life? If a nigga, Kobe is the last nigga in the world that's supposed to be fucking dying, especially at this age and shit like that.
2020 got a curse. Shit was a curse.
Nah, that's most definitely a fact. And as far as like with the drill culture and shit and violence, do you feel like drill and violence goes hand to hand? Or do you feel like we can have drill music? Because that's one thing that I always try to push. Us having drill music without the violence and shit like that. So what you think about that?
This shit been going on for mad long. Bloodshed, drill music, it's part of what's going on out here. But feel me? I ain't gonna lie, niggas do their music, you feel me? But niggas see you, it's different though. Like you bump into a person, you feel me? You could rap all day.
Nah, that's
gangster.
That's a fact. So you got anything that you want to get the people to check into or some new music before
I got some shit on the way. I got like 2 videos. I'm about to shoot a video right now as we speak. I got mad shit on the way. Stef DB, TOPBOY STEF, aka TOPBOY STEF. That probably be my name like 2 years from now too. I got both. Feel me? Stef DB, aka TOPBOY STEF. Y'all niggas gonna tap in though. Like I'm talk that shit. Like really talk that shit. Like way different. I'm different. Y'all definitely gonna hear about me though.
That's a fact. And I'm into my boy from now. We got this from the beginning.
Really though, my boy
y'all
right
seen
here.
the Gifted Music interview, and we out.
Whoa.
Gang, gang, gang. Run that up, Rico. You don't wanna end up on my hit list. You don't wanna get caught in this mission. My shooters ain't mixed, just took the killer, cause niggas just killed them. You don't wanna end up on my hit list. You don't wanna get caught in this mission. My shooters ain't missing. You just took the killer, cause niggas just killed. You don't wanna end up on a. You don't wanna end up on a T. You ain't trying to put your mans on. Like me, I ain't got no bands on me. I put it on the bank, but I got this roll on me. Got all the faces you could think of. Every day I wake up, thank the man above. Then get to the paper. Money run, hell niggas say fuck. I just cashed out on a new piece. Big yes in my chain, kicking like Bruce Lee. Hit the stage of the game, you know it's a movie. Bad bitches shaking ass, a whole lot of booty.
Okay. Nah, facts.